Okay, so this is the next part in completing the Christmas star quilt by So Be It Quilts. If you saw my part 1, I have resized it to 36 by 36 inches. So if we turn to page 6 of 8, we are now going to do the cornerstone star blocks. And because I'm resizing mine, this is what they would look like. And I'm doing a little bit of a different change to them. What I'm doing is I'm taking, again, 1.5 inch HSTs, creating a pinwheel design. I'm putting those aside. Then I've taken some other HSTs that somebody gave to me, and I've cut these down to 1.5 inch. And then adding to that some 1.5 inch yellow tone for the corners. And this is what my corner blocks will look like. So each of these will have a different center because I am working with odds and sods. These will remain the same and these will remain the same. So I've made one. I'm going to continue making 3 more. So again, I'm sewing these in a spinning pattern. So again, check back with my previous video. I'm adding these that are going to be, and here I go, being angularly challenged. So I will be adding these onto each side. And then I haven't cut down the yellow yet, but these will go into each corner. So I'm going to go ahead and sew those together, and then I'll show you how we assemble it into the final border. So to make each of the star points, you want to make sure that you have the point going in towards each other. It looks like a flying goose. You can use flying geese if you want to. I just happen to have these on hand. So right sides together. And what you want to do is you want to match the points here. And then on the opposite end, you want to make sure that you're matching as well, especially if you have 2 different contrasts of fabric. So we will be sewing here with a 1/4 inch seam. And again, using the clear glue to help stabilize it so it helps keeps those points matched up. So we will be making 4 of these per block. There's 4 blocks, so we've got a lot of sewing to do. So let me get on it. So this is what the corner block will look like when you're trying to assemble it. I've got these points sewn together. I've got the center spinning wheel done, and then I have 4 1.5 inch corner square fabric cut. So what I have done before is I have sewn these together with the center, and then I pressed it, and then I attached these 3 units together, and the same on this side, and then pieced it all together with a 1/4 inch seam. So let me take care of that, and then I have 2 more to do, and then I'll show you what we do next. Just going to show you something quickly. When you're joining the points on, if you want to get a nice intersection here, what I do is I try to have it facing so that I have this intersection facing up. So I have the center seam here, and then I have the 45° from the HST. What I want to do is when I'm going along with my 1/4 inch, I want to adjust my stitching so that I hit right in that point right there. And then when it's all opened and pressed nicely, then you will have a nice point. Just a little tip as we go along. So next up is the borders. And what I'm going to do, and this is per side, I'm taking 2.5 inch squares and sewing them together, alternating between 2 colors. So I like my polka dots. This is left over from another project. And the blue is part of the larger starburst that's in the center of the quilt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to alternate these, and we're going to have 12 pieces in total per side. So let me do that, and I will be right back. So next up we have these borders that we've made. See how nice those are. And we're going to add a white strip or whatever your background is, 1.5 inches wide on each side. So again, we're taking this checker border, which is 2.5 inch strips sewn end to end, and then adding 1.5 on one side, and then we will take and add another 1.5 on the other. We'll do that 4 times, and then I'll be back to show you what we do next. So here's the border with the 1.5 inch strips on each side of the 2.5 inch bits that have been sewn together. So now what I'm going to do is add this to each of the 4 sides of the inside panel, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so I've now put the border on the top and the bottom of the center panel, and now I will do the sides. So it is easiest if I do one of the corner blocks on the top and then the next one on the bottom. I am paying particular attention to what is on the bottom here and what is on the top, because there will be a slight pattern when I'm finished with this. So let me do these 2 sides and then attach it to the center, and I'll show you how it's all turned out. We're almost there, hang in. Here it is all done. I'm just showing you what I meant about the border. So I've got a lighter going to a darker, and then going across lighter to darker, etc. And then because I only had enough of the triangles with the red tone, I put them opposite each other just to add some balance here. So I really like how this turned out. I hope you give it a try and follow the other creators as they come up with their own colors and sizes. So I will be quilting this in the next little bit, and then I will do an update on that as well. So in the meantime, sew safe, sew as always, and sew with Debee.